are you today? Bienvenue, welcome, and thank you for being here. Now today, is a coffee chat, and it's an unabridged coffee chat. So what that means is, if I cough, I cough. Now if I cough too much, I'll have to have her edit it. Or Max barks too much, I'll have to have her edit it. But the whole point of a coffee chat is to have you in my living room and us just talk. And then, unfortunately, since you're not here with me, I need you to comment. I need you to say, wow, that was way off base, Janice. Or, I didn't even understand what you were talking about. Or, you didn't even keep my interest. Let me know. Because if I don't know what you're thinking, I'm thinking it's okay. Although I can see how many viewed it, and I can see that, well, I guess no one really liked the topic. But you know what? I'm going to do it anyway because it's a coffee chat. And I am going to be looking at some of my notes that I've made on my little iPad. So just don't fault me for that. But today we're going to talk about, and you've already seen the title, how much women are worth after 60. We're worth a lot in our early ages. And men will tell us that we're worth a lot. Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, you're so sexy. Oh, 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 oh. And then we get married and oh, we're just worth so much more then because now we have a partner. And then we have the baby. We are really worth a lot then. Because not only do we have a husband, do we have a career, and now we have a baby. And our worth is so much. And we're basing that worth on what we do. We're busy with a child. We're busy with work. We're busy with a husband. We're busy with a house. We're worth a lot. In fact, many years ago, they started this little, someone started this little economic thing about if you're a wife, how much you should get paid an hour. It's kind of like owning a dog. And I don't mean it in a bad way. You know what you're getting yourself into. It's like, I don't need to be paid any extra. I knew what I was getting myself into. The same thing with being a teacher. We complain that the salary is not enough, and they never are enough. I mean, we get treated like no one else. We are a species like no other people, but I'm not going to go into that. So anyway, we go into taking care of our children, taking care of our home, decorating our home, making it look better, entertaining friends, entertaining family at Christmas and Easter, and we're just worth a lot because we're doing a lot. And people put, I think, that on what you're worth. Now, recently, because I watch a ton of YouTube, and you may watch this lady that I watch. Her name is Lydia Millen Gordon. Now, recently, the big topic with her is that she's selling all her Hermes bags and all these other bags that I can't even, Birkin, some of them I can't even talk about because I don't know anything about them. I know about Gucci and Yves Saint Laurent and well, I know about Birkin, but that's only been the last 2 years. In fact, a woman made a comment about my bag, the blue one that I got from Teddy Blake. And she said, oh, I love your Birkin. Do you know how much Birkins cost? And not only that, you can't just walk into a store and say, oh, I'd like a Birkin, please. Oh, I like that Birkin. I like that one. No, you have to be invited. And if you're invited, they know that you have the money. So what she's done is she's changing, and everybody's making a video about it. because all of a sudden she doesn't want to pack her, I'm going to just say 50 bags. I don't know how many because I don't pay that much attention to what numbers are. She doesn't want to pack her 50 bags away. Let's say she has 30 bags for summer and then she has to store them and then they get them all out and then she has 30 more bags, And not only that, she's decided in her humble way that she's going to sell some of these products that are very expensive and she's going to give to charity. So does that make her less worth? Or maybe I should say worth less as a person because she's not carrying around her designer bags anymore? Because I don't have a designer bag, does that make me worth less as a person? I don't think so. In fact, if you look behind me, I just bought a purse yesterday. And I've been wanting a summer purse. Just something I could put with my sandals that are this color, or I could wear with other sandals, or just something to grab to go out the door. Now, this is certainly not a bag that I'm going to take to the market, but it's certainly not a bag that broke the bank because it wasn't even over $100. And I don't even know why that's there. I know why that's there. I had to redo the whole room yesterday because I had a certain kind of video I had to do. So let's go back about self-worth. I'm not going to talk about Lydia anymore. I've talked enough about that. And other people on YouTube have talked enough about her. So some people say, oh, she's broke, blah, blah, blah. No, she just doesn't want all of this stuff anymore. Sometimes we come to a point in our life that my sofa and my wallpaper and a little mirror and a chair is enough, right? But what about our worth? What are you worth? Okay, you can't work anymore. You live off Social Security. Your children don't talk to you, or they don't come around very often. What is your worth? Did you ever stop and think about that? We are worth so much more when we're married and have children and our lives are vibrant and exciting, and we go on vacations with the children, and we talk to the ladies at the PTA, and we take in the cookies, and we take in the cakes, and we go to the plays, and we do all that, and our self-worth is fabulous. But who's it fabulous for? Other people? Or are we saying our self-worth is a lot? So when we get to be 60 or over and we're thinking about retiring and we're thinking about moving into a smaller home or a smaller condo or a smaller apartment, are we worth less? Do other people think we're worth less, or is that in our minds? And I want to read this to you because it's according to research. Women over 60 contribute significantly to the economy, not just through work, but also by volunteering, mentoring, sharing their wisdom with younger generations, and their experience brings an irreplaceable value to society. I don't know. How many young people do you sit down in front of that really want to hear your story? I have a good friend of mine, and I won't say her name because that might embarrass her. But anyway, she grew up in West Virginia, and we talk all the time. No, it's okay. It's okay. Shh. Unabridged, right? Hang on. So like I was saying, how many of you have young people, grandsons, granddaughters, that you want to sit and talk to and tell them about your memories and they want to listen to you. Doesn't he sound pathetic? He just sounds so bad. Like, I'm just taking up so much time of his everyday life. Come here. Come here. Come here. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is, what is your worth? Do people really care what you have to say? Do people really want to know what you have to say? I don't know. My child doesn't. I mean, I've told her little stories about my childhood, but if I don't cut it real short, I've lost her. But I remember the same thing when my dad was younger. Sorry, when I was younger, not my dad. And I remember he would try to tell stories about when he was young and this and that, and I'd go, oh God, this is so boring. Who cares, Dad? Of course, I didn't say that to him. But in my mind, I would say, who cares? Who cares what it was like in Kentucky in 1952? Well, not 52. I was born in 51. In 1934. Who cares? Who cares what it was like back in 1910? Well, now that I'm older, darn, I wish I'd listened. Because those memories would be so much to put in my memoir and to put in that I knew that much about what was going on instead of doing research about it. But it also says that we can have more self-worth if we volunteer. So where does self-worth come from? Is it those people out there? Is it that husband over there? Or is it our children over here? Self-worth comes from right here. If you think you have nothing to contribute to society, then your self-worth is very low. People say, I've taken up painting. Oh, I travel. Oh, I love to do puzzles. I love to do puzzles. I had a mother-in-law that she had two puzzles what do they used to call those little cardboard tables, you know, that you would use for extra tables at a Thanksgiving or whatever. She had two puzzles on each end. And she'd watch a little TV, or she'd do a crossword puzzle, and she'd walk over and work on one puzzle, and then she'd walk on another. Now, she's in her 90s. But that's what made her happy. Women gathering together. Maybe you go to church and you have a group of women at church. Or maybe you have I don't know. I can't think of anything. Maybe you have a sewing class, or maybe you have a knitting class, or maybe you have a book club that you belong to. And maybe you say, you know what, I would like to have a book club. Then start one. Start one. Don't wait for somebody else to invite you. Start one. We, women, after 60, have so much self-worth. We can't put it into dollars. We couldn't put into dollars when we were 20 or 30 or 40. We just felt worthy, and we felt like we had a lot of self-worth because we were doing so much. And a lot of people think, oh, well, you're not doing a lot. You just sit around and watch TV all day and clean your house. You're not worth very much. And, you know, might as well just go ahead and kick the bucket. Is that the way you feel? Do any of you ever feel that way? That you're just useless and you're in the way? I have a friend of mine, the same friend, that used to live in West Virginia, and her dad worked in the coal mines. She has got the most interesting story. I love to listen to her about how they lived in homes that the coal mines owned. The coal mines owned the store. The coal mine paid for the doctor, and all their houses looked alike. She has the most interesting stories. How do we get those stories out there to people? Do you ever get the chance to go to the library? I know if you went to the library, you could ask the librarian if you could volunteer some time to read to children. I bet they would love that. Now, they may not want to hear your stories, but they'd love for you to read to them because their mom's out doing work and cleaning the house and washing the car and doing all kind of stuff that women do. So I want you to really take a look at your self-worth. Are you really worth anything? Of course you are. It doesn't matter what your money is. Maybe start something online. Start a YouTube if you want to. Oh no, Janice, I'm not very good at that. Okay, all right, then don't do that. So start a forum. Start a forum for women that need a friend, or for women that like to tell stories, or for women, anything like that. Or look out there and see if there's things like that and get involved. You don't have to make $75,000 a year, which most of us don't after 65 at least, to be self-worth. What would that word be? Not self-worth, but to feel like you are worthy, or to feel like you are, or you have self-worth. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. It's just like Lydia giving up all her bags. Her self-worth just went down? No, it didn't. Are you putting a monetary value on it? Are you putting a monetary value on yourself? Are you putting a monetary value on what you know? Are you putting a monetary value on what you can do for other people and how you can help other people? Maybe you say, Janice, I can't help anyone. I'm an invalid. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. With technology, there are so many things that we can do. Suicide helpline. Domestic abuse helpline. Anything like that that we can do on our phones. They don't have a call center for that anymore. People that volunteer have that in their homes. They have their phone. They're alerted by their phone. This is the only thing you need is a phone. Or maybe you don't have a cell phone. Maybe you just have a landline. That's the only thing you need. Call someone and say, okay, I want to volunteer. I guarantee you, if you think you are not worthy, please think again. We are worthy. As long as we can talk, as long as we can give, as long as we can help, we are worthy. I think a lot of people, and I'm going to say it, young people think after a certain age that we're not worth anything. We're just kind of like sitting over there waiting to die. Well, let's change that. Let's change it. If you know of something that someone else can do to help, there are so many people out there that are lonely. Start a chat. It doesn't take hardly anything to do that. And if you don't know how, look it up on the internet and find out how to do it. There are so many widows, so many widowers, so many people that are without family, so many people that have family but don't really have anything to do with them, or they don't have anything to do with them. Maybe you can't travel. Maybe you can't pack your bags and travel all over the world. But that doesn't mean you are selfless. We just have to look inside of us and say, okay, what is a passion? Well, you know what my passion is talking. I've had that passion forever. And sometimes what I talk about people like, and sometimes what I talk about people don't like. But that's okay. If I help one person, just one, to say, you know what? You know, I think she's right. Maybe I do need to get myself involved. I'm not saying you have to get up every day and be somewhere at 10 o'clock. I'm not saying that. Because most of us, we've been doing that for so long that it's not what we want. But can you imagine being on a helpline for suicide or domestic abuse or for loneliness or for drug addicts or anything? You got to open up your mind. You've got to open up your mind. Open up your heart and let that heart work with that mind and find how you can be worthy again. Because it isn't that you stop being worthy, it's that you have stopped thinking you're worthy. Right? Well, I don't have this and I don't have that. Nope, you sure don't. But that doesn't make you worth less. Let me see what it says here. It says here that women over 30 are thriving, not just surviving. Wait a minute, I read that long. Women over 60 are not just surviving, they are thriving. That is not true. That is not true. A lot of people over 60 are just surviving. I'm not going to get into politics, but we all know not everyone makes $5,000 a month in Social Security. In fact, I don't know anyone that makes $5,000 a month in Social Security because I wouldn't know those kind of people anyway. Not everyone is able to pay their rent and have an extreme amount of money left over. So when this person says women over 60 are not just surviving, they are thriving, I think they're wrong. Not everyone is doing that. It also says their worth is not defined by age, but by the richness of their lives. I like that. The love they give, I like that. And the legacy they create. But remember, you have to create that legacy. You say, well, Janice, I don't have any money to do anything. I know. But you can volunteer on the phone. You can start a forum. And if you don't know how, please comment below and I'll help you. It's time to celebrate the incredible worth of women at every stage of life. Maybe you're past 60. Maybe you're like me at 73. Maybe you're even older than me. But I have a self-worth. I try to inspire people to do better in their lives. I try to inspire people to keep going. I try to inspire people to feel worthy, not worth less. Now, your family may not think you're worth much, except what your insurance policy is. I don't have that much insurance, so I'm not worth that much when I die anyway. But I try to instill, inspire, whatever it is. And you can do the same thing. It's not just Janice out here doing it by herself. Remember, I have said it all along. I'm not asking people to move to France. I don't care if you move to France. What I care about is that you feel worthy, that you feel good about yourself. Well, I've gained too much weight, Janice. Well, haven't we all? Let's do something about it. Well, Janice, I need to have cataract surgery. Okay, then do it. Well, I don't have anyone to take me. Okay, then figure it out. Figure it out. Talk to your doctor. Say, okay, what can I do? I don't have anyone to take me. I don't have anyone to take me home. What do I do? Talk to people. Talk to professionals. When you go see about eye surgery, talk to them. Say, I don't have anyone to bring me. I can come in an Uber. I don't have anyone to pick me up. Your doctor may say, well, you know what? If you can't go home alone, we may have to keep you overnight. I don't think that doctor's going to say, well, then we can't do anything for you. Maybe you have to call on someone you really don't care for to come pick you up. Maybe you have to kind of like eat a little bit of crow or be around someone for a few minutes that you really don't like, but you may have to do it. Make yourself known. It isn't a legacy that's going to be written down in a book. It isn't a legacy that's going to get you any type of trophy. It's a legacy that you know you're leaving behind. Maybe you helped one person on a suicide hotline. Maybe you helped one person from domestic violence. There are so many. You don't even have to work in your state. You can call other states, or you can call the 1-800 national hotline for all kinds of items and say, I want to volunteer. And usually they do their training on Zoom. Everybody does it through the phone now. My daughter just got a new job the other day. She has a trainer, but they were training like 6 other people in 6 other states, and they all did it on the computer. So please, please, please don't think you're worthless. Well, Janice, you know, I don't hear very well. Okay, that's why we have a speaker on the phone. I don't have a lot of schooling. Okay. You don't need schooling to talk nice to someone. You don't need schooling to be there for someone. You just need to have patience, some time, and some energy to have a legacy. It doesn't matter that one day on your tombstone it doesn't say, oh, wow, she was awesome. You think on my tombstone it's going to say, Janice Dearwester, the wonderful YouTuber. No, it is not. It's going to say, Janice Dearwester, wife of Steve Dearwester, mother of Jennifer Dearwester. That's all it's going to say. But people out there that I taught school are going to say, I remember that lady. Remember when she used to make us cupcakes? That lady was just crazy sometime. Oh, she gave so much homework. Or maybe you remember because of something you did. There's no excuse, ladies, to not have self-worth. And for people that think that we are so, I don't know what the word is, after a certain age that we're not worth anything. Please don't think that. We are worth a lot. No, we don't have any children anymore. And no, we're not going to PTA meetings. Isn't that though wonderful? I have been to enough PTA meetings to choke a horse. I have taken and baked enough cupcakes for school to have gained 1,000 pounds. I don't want to do that anymore. Because at my stage of life, that's not my interest anymore. But maybe you do like to bake. Do you know there are senior centers all around the United States? And I can always only talk about the United States because I don't know what's here in France. I haven't got that far yet. There's senior citizens. Some places will come and pick you up. And you can go for like 3 or 4 hours. Well, I don't want to go to those places. That's where old people are. Okay. Okay. Check in with yourself there. You're an older person too. We don't, any of us, think old. We think young. That's why sometimes I think I can do things and my body says, no, you can't. We are all worthy. What is your self-worth? What is your self-worth? If you think packing your bags and going all over Europe makes you more worthy than anyone else, absolutely not. Not any more than Lydia Millen had all these bags. That doesn't make her worth any more. Monetarily, maybe, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, what are you worth here? What do you do? You don't have to volunteer in 4 or 5 places. You don't have to be gone all the darn time. That would drive me nuts. I don't know about you. Maybe you're more of an extrovert. I can't say it, extrovert than me. I'm an introvert. I can only handle people so long and then I've got to go home and hide. I don't want to come across as a teacher, and I don't want to come across as giving you the idea that you're not worthy, because my whole point of this entire video is to show you that you are worthy. It's just from the time that we're 20, the way we look at us being worthy is different than when we look at us at 70 or older. That's when we start thinking, I'm not worthy. No one wants to be around me. I have to always ask for help. So don't do that anymore. I didn't say don't ask for help. Don't think that way anymore. Join, do, create, inspire, read. What do you think? I have to tell you, I'm going to end right now because Max is so quiet. I can even hear him snoring. So for this to be an unabridged, no edit, coffee chat video, we did quite well. You should have heard him during my French lesson. Oh my gosh. He was making my French teacher's dog bark. But he's now settled in. And I think when I finish this video, I'm going to take advantage of it. Please think about what I've said. Please share this video with someone. Even if you don't like that person because they're not doing anything about themselves and you're angry with them because they're not doing anything, they won't do anything for other people, share it with them anyway. Who knows? It might make a difference in their life. Don't leave this earth feeling worthless. There's all kinds of YouTubers. There's all kinds of influencers, and you will see their beautiful homes, and you'll see their beautiful clothes, and you'll see them going to events that are like, oh my God, you know, $1,000 even for a ticket. They're not worth one more penny than you are. Not one more penny. Now, it's nice to watch these people because if I didn't, I would never, ever know what it was like. In fact, I watched a lady the other day. She put together a crudité, I think, bowl for Easter, a plate, and then she showed how to put it in a basket with tea towels. In fact, my husband used to get onto me when I would say tea towel. He'd say, a what towel? A tea towel. Well, that came from the UK. That came from London. Anyway, she took this like basket that kind of had a loop on it and kind of came out like that. And she took these beautiful tea towels and she rolled them. And then she put all her crudités, her celery, her carrots, and they had this gorgeous antique rabbit that had like a little bowl. that he was holding, and that's where their sauce would go. And I got the biggest kick out of that because I thought, if I have a Christmas party this year, I can do that crudité thing. Oh my gosh. So I learned something from it. So that's why we watch YouTube. We get entertained and we learn something from it. But I want you to be your own entertainer, and I want people to learn from you. And I know I said I was going to stop blabbing, and I really am. I'm going to stop blabbing now. But please give me a thumbs up. Please share with someone, even if you don't like them. Share with them. And please make a comment below. And for goodness sakes, I have about 48% of the people that watch my videos that have not subscribed. It doesn't take that much. The world isn't going to collapse if you subscribe. And I certainly didn't mean that in a mean intention, because I know a lot of people protect their privacy, and that's fine with me. I'm not one of those people. You know me, I'm wide open. And I appreciate those kind of people. But YouTube isn't going to use anything. And, oh my goodness, there's a little gnat. And also, if you want to become a member of my community, I'm going to amp up my community communication with my community. Go to janiceinfrance.com, click on community, give me your name, your birthday, your email. It is not used. In fact, if you'll go down to the very bottom, it says that these addresses and emails and all of that cannot be used, because I'm going to start doing the birthday thing again. I have been really slack on that. And I think it's very important that you get wished a birthday. And see, that's something that I can do that makes me feel that I'm worth more because I did something for someone. So janiceinfrance@gmail.com is my email. janiceinfrance.com is my website. Go to, click on Become a Community, and then comment below, please. It makes a big difference because I want YouTube to start pushing out these coffee chats, because honestly, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I do say things that I think need to be heard. Thank you so much. And as always, I love you. And I care about you. And I want you to feel like you are worth $1,000,000. And you've only got about $30 in the bank like me. Take care, everyone. Au revoir. Mwah.